you see any sign of them at all?
Obviously not. We never see hippos. You should know that by now, Kate.
We're out on Half Mile Lake looking for some of the most mysterious, and it has to be said, fiercely territorial animals in the park, the hippos.
In the 18 or so years I've been coming here, I think I've seen them about 5 times. Although I wouldn't want a hippo to sneak up on me unexpectedly, because they can be incredibly dangerous.
They can be incredibly dangerous, but luckily, we've got someone sneaking around on our behalf today. We've got a specialist cameraman here, and he is going to try and give us some insight into some of the park's most elusive animals. He may even be able to get that killer shot when a predator strikes.
Let's just hope he doesn't become lunch.
Now you look that way and I'm going to look this way.
Here's what else is on today's programme. Arabella the Binturong's health is deteriorating and no one knows why.
You don't know how this operation's going to go. You don't know what they're going to find.
Meet Hansel the 3-banded armadillo. No armbands required.
Oh, he's doing it! Yes! Oh my goodness, that's fantastic!
And Ben meets his nemesis, but will his manly charms win over Rio?
He's kind of looking at me like, oh, he's still here. Carnivore keeper Caleb loves photography. He's built up a library of 200,000 photos. Now he wants to take his passion to another level. His plan is ambitious, to see his beloved carnivores in a new light.
The idea is to get a prey's eye view of the world, to see what the lions are like, to understand what it's like to be hunted by the lions.
It's difficult to get a prey's eye view of a carnivore without becoming prey yourself. So we've arranged for some special assistance.
He does something a little bit different with his work because he does get so close.
Will Barrard-Lucas is an award-winning photographer. He's developed a technique to get his camera right under the noses of some of nature's most powerful beasts.
I had to show people things that they hadn't seen before. So I started experimenting with different ways to take photos. And a perspective that I found particularly appealed to me was to get really close to my subjects. And so I achieved this initially by crawling up to creatures. But what I really dreamed of doing was getting these photographs of iconic African wildlife, such as lions and elephants. Obviously, if I crawled up to them, I'd get trampled or mauled to death. So I had to come up with a different way of achieving these photos.
And this is what he designed. Meet Will's extraordinary Buggy Cam, a remote-controlled vehicle with built-in camera.
Will's photography is just completely different. He gets a lot closer to the animals using his kit. You can almost sort of tell their personality from his photos.
To get those staggeringly intimate views, Will's agreed to spend a day with superfan Caleb.
I'm Will, nice to meet you. Brought this along to see if we can get some of my trademark close-up, wide-angle shots of these guys.
I kind of want to get to know what it feels like to be prey for the lions and the tigers and things, and just see what it's like to feel, you know, what a lion, when it first spots you or it first sees you, and whether it's going to eat you or not, that sort of glint in their eye almost.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing I'm after.
Okay, yeah, well, I think the moment where they meet it for the first time and they're not sure what it is, they'll almost certainly approach it, checking it out. I think that's our moment to get that shot. Before I had the shell, I had a couple of cameras got chewed, so I learnt my lesson very quickly and then didn't try lions again until I'd built something that could sort of protect the camera.
And he'll need it, because Will's camera will be right in the thick of it, amongst the planet's most ferocious predators. Lions. And the largest of the wild big cat family, tigers. Tigers will be a first for Will. Wild tigers are more likely to keep their distance, but these cats aren't put off by humans or vehicles.
You never quite know how a new animal is going to respond to it, and I've discovered that different species, but even different individuals within a species, all behave very differently.
We'll be back to see if Will's camera survives its first encounter with these top apex predators.
This is Tylo. He's a Binturong, which is a Southeast Asian omnivore. These are such cool animals, aren't you? He's got an amazing prehensile tail. You can see how it curls round there.
very sharp claws, which makes him a brilliant tree climber. Now, usually he shares this lovely enclosure with his beautiful missus, Arabella. But a couple of weeks ago, she was showing worrying signs and had to be rushed to the vet. But the thing about these animals is they're a little bit complicated.
The vet was called to anaesthetise Arabella so she can be transported safely to the surgery. She's not been eating, she's losing weight, and no one knows why.
We've only really got a half an hour window to get her into the vets. So we're kind of got a race against time to get to the other end before she starts waking up too much.
Whilst the vets treat exotic animals at the park, they often don't become inpatients, so Arabella is a special case. In the wild, binturongs face a high risk of extinction, so she's vital to the survival of the species. But these curious creatures aren't well studied. With no records on how to treat them, the pressure is on for vet Zoe.
Bless her. I think this is the first time we've had the binturongs in here at the surgery. So we really just have to extrapolate our knowledge from other species.
Gauging the correct dose of anaesthetic is vital. Too little and Arabella could become distressed, too much and she may never wake up. The next few minutes could determine the outcome of this procedure, something experienced keeper Kat has learnt the hard way.
When you work so closely with animals, they become like your family, so any decision that's made to put them under and sedate them is a really difficult one to make, because you don't know how this operation's going to go. You don't know what they're going to find.
But when we're going to try and tube her, we'll probably need her on the other side.
Before they can investigate why she's not eating, the veterinary team must ensure Arabella is stable. Her vital signs are monitored: breathing, heart rate and blood pressure. Time is of the essence. Arabella arrived at the park almost 2 years ago from France to take part in an essential breeding programme to save the binturong from extinction.
Oh, look at you, princess. You're beautiful.
Here she was carefully introduced to her new mate, Tylo.
So bringing Arabella in was really, really exciting for myself and all the keepers. We wanted babies. We wanted to help this species become less vulnerable. Really, really exciting times, and we wanted that love match to really kind of connect.
Before Arabella's aggression forced her separation from Tylo, the pair had been sharing an enclosure, so there's one obvious reason why she may be feeling grouchy.
There's a possibility that she might be pregnant, and we're just checking with the ultrasound scanner to see if we can see any signs of pregnancy in there.
A baby binturong would be a major boost for the breeding programme, but is Arabella going to be a mum?
Nothing very convincing.
With pregnancy sadly ruled out, Zoe suspects that Arabella's aggression must be a result of being in pain. Keeper Charlie has noticed she's not very mobile in her hips.
I think it's more sort of like pelvis, and because it's her back end that is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, that's a tail and a half there.
Yeah, because she's not great on her back legs, she uses a tail extra, I think.
The best way to spot a serious problem is with an X-ray.
I think we're just going to have an X-ray of her abdomen, hips, and just see what that's all looking like. It's a question of doing everything you can while you've got them asleep, because it doesn't happen very often. So this is a picture of her laying on her back. So we're looking at her pelvis here and her ball and socket hip joints here, and they look pretty good.
The mystery continues. Arabella has been under anaesthetic for 45 minutes. Her body temperature and blood pressure are starting to fall. If they don't find out the problem soon, they'll have missed their opportunity to discover why Arabella is losing weight. Over in Animal Adventure, Ben's on a mission to win over a prima donna parrot.
Behind me is Rio the cockatoo, and last year I joined Keeper John to give him a shower. Rio, you're not sure about that? Rio didn't want a shower, so I'll have to have one. Didn't go well. So this year I've swapped John for Becky, And I've swapped the shower for this. What is it?
So this is a toy. This is
Okay.
a very bright handmade toy that I made myself. And this is actually hibiscus, and he can eat that.
Oh, look. I think he's gone inside.
He's not interested, is he?
I don't think, do you know what? I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's John.
I have no idea. He's gone.
He took one look at it. He heard us talking about it, and he was gone. See you next year. Until then, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll hold on to that.
Lovely, thank you. I will go and retrieve him.
Okay. Now, working with animals does require a lot of patience. I'm constantly upstaged. I imagine he's probably on the phone to his agent.
We have returned with bribery.
Bribery. That's. Listen, if at first
you don't succeed,
try again.
So try some peanuts.
Now, Rio, please, I'm going to start taking great offence to this. In all seriousness, though, your job does require lots of patience, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. They are very much like children. They have the kind of the mental age of like a 3 or 4 year old child. So they are lovely. They're very clever. They do throw tantrums.
Was that a tantrum? Did he
That
just
was
have
a tantrum. He didn't want to come back outside. As I said, I literally had to bribe him with peanuts.
Have you made up?
I don't know. I don't know if he knows. He's not looking too sure.
He's not really. He's kind of looking at me like, oh, he's still here. Becky, just get rid of him. I'll take the peanuts for a second.
Peanuts.
What are you anticipating he might do with this? Here you go. Do you want a peanut, by the way, while we're waiting?
He needs lots of things to chew. Good boy. He needs lots of things to chew. He likes to tear things apart. If you look around the buildings in Animal Adventure, most of them have been chewed by Rio.
Okay.
So this gives him something to really rip into with his beak, with his feet. It may go completely terribly. He may just throw it onto the floor.
The nuts are a success.
You're best friends now.
Where are we gonna just place it up here? What do we think? Rio, you can't leave yet. Please don't. Please don't do this to me, Rio.
So what I might do, I might hook it over there.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we're gonna hook it on here. You coming back? He's really gonna milk it, isn't he?
He is. He's. I've never seen someone spend so much time eating a peanut. Look, the other ones he ate in 2 seconds,
Yes,
and this one
he's really trying not to come back over. You coming?
Well, Becky, I admire the effort. I would rather like to take that home as a decoration for the house. Thank you for trying.
No, you're very welcome.
And I'll be back next year with a third keeper and Plan C. Longleat is packed full of cute and fluffy creatures, but sometimes, behind that cuddly exterior, a surprising predator lurks.
Sam, when I think of pandas, I think of bamboo, but there's a lot more to their diet than that.
There is, yeah. Red pandas eat meat.
That
as well.
surprises me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because they're so little and they are pandas, so
yeah.
The fact that they eat meat is a shock.
Yeah, they will eat a little bit of meat, not a huge amount, but they are capable of hunting, especially sort of small birds and things like that.
Right, okay. What are we up to today then?
So today we've got a little bit of enrichment for the pandas. So we've actually got a little bit of camel fur.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so obviously red pandas would not hunt camels in the wild, I realise that. But camels are quite stinky. So this is just some nice, smelly enrichment, something that the pandas won't have smelt before, just to hopefully get their kind of predator instincts flowing.
I can confirm it does smell really bad.
It's not nice.
And it's a new texture as well, so we'll put some of that out for them.
Yeah, we'll pop it up for them. Turner looks really interested already. Oh,
and a little bit frightened, okay.
That's kind of normal. He hasn't seen this before, so that's totally normal. I'll pop some food in it as well for them.
And are they quite inquisitive by nature?
They are quite inquisitive, but they would be prey for other animals in the wild. So they will be a little bit wary of new things, just because that's kind of instinctual to keep themselves safe. So he's having a bit of a look at it, but he's not quite sure.
Yeah, he's
so it might take him a couple of minutes.
And hiding little bits of meat in there. Has Turner had meat before?
No, he hasn't. Although he's pretty grown up, he is still a cub. So he's still kind of exploring his diet. So this is a new thing for him. So he might not take to it straight away, but this is Mum this is Rafina. So her putting her tongue out like that, that's like her smelling the scents. It's how they would read a scent mark from another animal. So that's her just kind of checking it out and seeing what it is.
And how's their sense of smell? Can they smell that there's meat inside there?
Yeah, their sense of smell's really good. She's not too sure. She's gone the opposite direction.
Sitting there like that ball of fur could look like a small animal to them.
Yeah, or something like a bird's nest, something, you know, nice and yummy for them.
So do you think they'll go for the easy option of the bamboo, or the little treats hidden within that camel fur that'll be harder for them to get?
I think the easy option first. Pandas are extremely well known for their general laziness, which is fine. Oh, it's coming to have a look. Thinking about it.
Well, Sam, I don't think your pandas are showing their predatory side today, but I reckon it's because it's such a lovely day. The sun is out and they do like to laze around, so I reckon they've just chose sunbathing instead.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to make hunters out of them at the moment.
Not in this good weather.
No.
Back now to the tiger enclosure.
So I reckon maybe we put the buggy out here so that we get them as they come towards it.
Before the park opens, award-winning photographer Will Burrard-Lucas and Caleb are hoping to capture a prey's-eye view of the carnivores.
Depending on where they end up, I can move the buggy into position.
Caleb stakes down some meat to help draw Sundari and Showery closer to the camera.
A little bit nervous because they've never encountered a remote control buggy camera before.
Not knowing exactly how the tigers are going to behave is the main challenge. I'm going to have to maybe think quickly and respond to the situation as it evolves. Quite excited about seeing what I can get. Good luck, little camera.
It's going to need it. Tigers have one of the most powerful bites in the big cat family.
I'm ready, so I think we can let them out.
Okay, cool. Let's go. Lions 6, Eloise.
Receive, thank you. Stock 1, log 2.
So here they come.
Here they come. Wow. See the picture?
Yeah, that's incredible.
Look at that. They're beautiful. She just rushed up. She didn't care about the camera at all.
Immediately, these top predators show their strength.
I only had a few seconds it felt like, because she was able to tear the meat off the steak, so they've now taken it away to feed on it.
There's another bit of meat in front of the camera, so hopefully Sundari or Showery will come back and we can get another go. I've never seen anything that close to a tiger before without anything in between, so yeah, it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, can't wait to get the camera back now and look through those photos.
It's not long before Sundari's back for more.
She's now eating just here, so I might get a few more shots of her.
Will inches his machine, packed full of specialist equipment, closer to the tigers.
I wish she wasn't in the long grass.
Sundari! Good girl, Sundari.
There's just a bit of long grass in front of her, unfortunately, so I'm just going to have to keep getting a bit closer. Bit of grass.
Suddenly, Sundari's focus shifts. Her predatory instincts kick in.
This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
The expert patrol team spring into action.
Sundari's just got hold of the camera
and run off with it.
So hopefully we'll be able to get it back.
There she is. Don't want her to sort of have time to chew it, yeah.
Oh my days, Sundari.
That's so fast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, she's dropped it.
It's here. We got it.
We got it. This is the first time I've ever had an animal pick it up from the shell. Her teeth just went straight into it. So it's, yeah, a first for everything.
With the entire carnivore team keeping a watchful eye on the cats, Caleb can retrieve the mauled camera safely.
You happy if I get it?
Power in those jaws to go through that. There are 2 canines going straight in there. This will go in my souvenir cabinet. We've got it back, so everything's good and the camera's fine. Just a few holes in the shell, but that's what the shell's there for. She had just been eating meat. Her drool had quite a lot of blood in it.
It's bloodied and battered. But Will's camera hasn't disappointed. It's captured an incredible prey's-eye view of these tigers in action. It might not be so lucky next time when it encounters the strength of a pride of lions.
At the local vet's, Arabella the Binturong is still under anaesthetic, whilst an investigation is underway to find out why she's not eating.
Well, we just want to have a good look in her mouth and see if there's anything abnormal to see.
Before Arabella came to the UK, she underwent dental surgery, and with limited records, Zoe is checking if any painful roots have been left behind.
When she's eating, is she dropping bits of
Yeah, she
stuff?
does. She kind of puts it to one side and kind of will drop it, whereas Tylo will put something fully in his mouth and then just chomp away at it.
Yeah.
She kind of plays around with it quite a lot.
Zoe quickly takes a series of x-rays to see if toothache could be the source of the problem.
So looking at the x-ray that we've got on the screen there, and in her mouth we can see a tiny little retained root here. So the crown is missing, but the root is still there. It's quite obvious when you can see it on the x-ray, but it's flush to the gum, and that could be causing pain if she's biting down on that.
And that's not the only rogue root.
And this x-ray that's just come through is showing us that we've got another retained root, just to the side of one of the teeth that are left.
So it's likely Arabella has been in pain for some time. The offending teeth roots must be removed as quickly and delicately as possible.
There's a bit more left. So this is another extracted root fragment. Either the crown has been broken off or it's an extraction from a previous dentistry. She doesn't need a broken tooth in there, so we're removing it, and hopefully that'll be more comfortable for her.
Well, hopefully the removal of those two teeny tiny bits of teeth will do the job, and she'll be all happy again. But only time will tell, really, so we'll get her home and see how she does after the anaesthetic wears off and in the days and weeks to come.
We'll be catching up on Arabella's progress later in the programme.
In this series, Jean's helping the keepers get a super close-up view of their weird and wonderful creatures. Today's screen stars need a bit of sprucing up before they come out of their shell.
Bath time at the park is always fun. I've bathed emus and tortoises, but Kim, these guys are new to me. Who have we got here?
Well, these are our giant African land snails, and usually once a week I'll give them a bit of a bath. Just because they live in the dirt and stuff, it's quite difficult to sort of see if they've got any damage to their shells and stuff.
So you've set up a bit of a snail spa here, I can see.
Yes.
Right, how do I do this?
So what I'm going to do is I shall pick one up and we'll pop it in my bath of water. So I'll just give it a quick rinse off for the main sort of dirt and stuff, and then I shall give it to you. And then if you want to use the nail brush and just give it a scrub on the top. Their shell's made of keratin. It's quite tough, so same as our fingernails. Doing this means that you can see if there's any cracks or damage.
And if you do see a crack or a split, how do you fix it?
Believe it or not, you can actually fix it with a little bit of gauze and plaster of Paris.
Really? Oh wow, so like a crack in a ceiling, you just sort of plaster it over.
Yeah, you can
Amazing.
do. And then they seal it with clear nail varnish.
Kim, I know you love our macro lens.
I do indeed.
So I brought it with me today. We can get a better look at this intricate shell and have a look at their anatomy as well.
Fabulous, thank you.
Look at this, Kim. This is an amazing view of the shell. Is every single one individual?
Yep, they've all got different patterns, so it's a bit like a fingerprint, really.
Amazing.
So, this is part of the foot that you can see here now, look. So that's obviously the bottom part of the body. If you look really closely, you can see all the slime.
Yeah, they're sort of leaving that trail behind them. You love these guys, so is there anything in particular we can show you with this lens?
I would really, really like to see like the eyeballs, because they're right on the end of the antenna. It's really difficult to see.
There you go.
Oh my God, look at that!
And look at them move
just so cool.
in and out. Then they retract as well.
It's a bit like us blinking. So they'll retract the whole antennae back in again to protect the eyeball.
And do they hibernate? Like, how much time do they spend inside their shells?
Well, they can take themselves back into the shell when the weather's not to their favour. So especially when it's dry. So they'll tuck themselves right back into the shell, make a little a door out of the mucus that the body produces, and they can stay in there for up to 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
What do they do for food?
They don't use enough energy to need food.
So they basically just shut down for potentially 3 years?
Could do, yeah.
And they're so interesting because they're hermaphrodites.
They are, yeah, they've got all bits and pieces, so male and female. When they come across each other, they'll decide basically who's going to be who. The larger one generally takes on the role of the female because she's got more capacity for eggs, so she can produce more. And then they sort of line up next to each other, and there's a certain point on the neck where they have to do, the mating occurs, and then she'll produce up to 400 eggs, and then 95% of them hatch out, so we end up with quite a lot, which there is a little teeny tiny one over there.
Oh, can we have a quick look at...
Oh my God! That is so cool.
Oh, it's translucent, and you can even see the eyeball on this one as well.
That little one, I would say, no more than 2 weeks old.
So there you go, up close and personal, Kim, with your African land snails. They're amazing.
It's 2 days since Arabella the Binturong returned from her dental surgery, and she's still giving her keepers cause for concern.
How are you doing today? Are you feeling any better? Good girl. We're incredibly worried about her. She's quiet, she's a bit more timid than she normally is. So it is quite possible that she's in quite a lot of pain. She did have 2 roots removed from her gums. Obviously, it's the last thing that we want to do to cause her any discomfort. We don't like seeing her unhappy and stressed, and obviously she's usually a bit more friendly towards us, and we want to get that bond back. It's the first time we've ever had to send any of our Binturong into the vets, so it's been quite a big deal, especially for me, seeing her reacting like she has.
With Arabella still subdued and off her food, all Charlie can do is keep a watchful eye on her.
Now, any guesses what I'm holding in my hand? Is it a coconut or some strange sort of fruit? Emily, do you want to explain what it is?
This is Hansel, and he's a southern 3-banded armadillo.
He is indeed an armadillo, and if I turn him round, you can see that Emily is not lying. He is absolutely gorgeous. And this is the amazing thing about these animals, isn't it? This sort of articulation that allows them to completely curl up like this.
So he'll go completely into a ball, and that's his security. They'll always leave a little gap, like he's left here. And that's so the animal will come along and put his paw in, and then they'll snap shut, and then hopefully the animal will run off, and that'll be the end of it.
Brilliant. So it acts almost like a little spring trap.
Yes.
Fantastic. Is it true they can actually swim?
They can do, yeah.
Really?
Yes, they can.
Because you'd think almost they'd be too dense to swim, wouldn't you?
No, what they'll do is they suck in lots of air and fill up their stomach and intestines and stuff, and then they can float across the top. But if it's a shallow stream or something, they can actually go underneath, and they can stay underwater for up to about 6 minutes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So I see you've got this wonderful tank set up here. Are we going to see if Hansel could be part of the South American swimming team?
Yes. I've only ever given him a bath in a bit of a shallower bath before.
Right.
And he seemed to be okay in that. So I just thought it'd be a nice idea to see
if he will
what he makes of this. Yeah.
Okay. So what would be the best tactic? Do you want to put him on a log first?
Yeah, I think we'll put him on a higher bit, and we'll see if he does make his way in himself.
Now then, you're such a splendid boy. Should we just... There we go. Look at that.
See what he makes of it.
I love this when you're trying things with the animals here at the park, because I know it's one of the things that all you keepers are very good at trying to find ways of enriching them and keeping them active.
Yes.
And it is wonderful, isn't it, watching how they love to just explore and... Look at that, he's off. Oh, he's doing it!
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. That's it. Round you go. Well done.
He's got his eyes open under the water as well. That's quite cool.
How was that? How was that, little chap? That was amazing.
That was really cool.
Oh, clever boy. Well, Hansel, didn't you do a good job? And who'd have thought that such a tough shell would be such an amazing pair of swimming trunks? Yep. Seemed to work, didn't it? Clever boy.
A week ago, Arabella the Binturong was rushed to the vets with a mysterious illness. She wasn't eating, was losing weight, and no one knew why. The vets thought she could be pregnant.
Nothing very convincing.
And then they thought her hips were giving her jip.
They look pretty good.
But on examining her teeth, they found the most likely cause were 2 rogue roots. Since undergoing dental surgery, the keepers have kept her on a soft diet of pureed fruit and veg, but Charlie now wants to see if she can tempt her with some solids.
So I'm just preparing a little bit of sweet potato and some parsnip. We want to give her a little bit more nutrition in her diet, so we want these harder vegetables.
In dense tropical forest, Binturongs will eat a variety of food, including eggs, meat, fruit, and vegetation. If Arabella is to get back to full health, she must have a balanced diet. If she rejects solids, she could end up back at the vets.
Hi, Arabella. How are you feeling? You hungry?
It's a tense moment for Charlie.
Got some food for you here. What do you reckon? Bit of sweet potato, some parsnip. Yeah? Good girl. They're nice. Today, this is the first time I've offered her anything particularly hard. So it's really nice to see that she's taking it quite happily, which is progress.
For the keepers, it's a huge relief to have solved Arabella's mystery illness. And with those painful tooth roots removed, she's back to her old self.
Can I have some more? Yeah, finish your mouthful. It's never nice to see an animal that's in discomfort. We want to make them as comfortable as possible and as happy in themselves as possible. So we aim to find out what's going wrong and make it better for them. We have to do our best for them. I've literally never seen her eating this much vegetables.
With Arabella on the mend, will ex-Tylo finally go from being Mr. Binturong to Mr. Bintur-right?
One corner of the park is home to the giant anteaters. They're native to South America. As their name suggests, in the wild they mostly eat ants and termites. Last series, Moroni added to the park's resident population when she gave birth to Bubbles. 10 months on, Jean's headed to Jungle Kingdom to see how he's getting on.
I've come to catch up with one of my favourite babies from last year, but Kim, I can't believe this is Bubbles. Look how much he's grown.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
So how's he getting on?
He's doing really well. As you can see, he's growing really nicely.
Come on, Bubbles.
He's a very playful anteater. He's a very curious anteater, and he likes his food.
There you go. They all like their food. There you go, Bubbles. Oh, lovely. And seeing him close up like this, he's not quite as big as Mum, but he's almost there.
Considering he's only 10 months, he is a big anteater.
And how's Mum getting on with him? Because obviously when he starts growing, he can't be on Mum's back anymore. It creates a few problems, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's quite needy, and she is very patient, but just some days you can see that her tolerance is a little bit lower. He still tries to climb on her back, and when he is the weight he is, it's That's a lot.
Yeah, that is. I can understand why, you know, he's a bit of a pest to her. And how's he getting on with Dad? How's Benito?
Anteaters in the wild are solitary, so naturally male anteaters would never meet their offspring. He would see Bubbles as a threat to him.
Already?
So, yeah, already. So they're separate until obviously Bubbles moves on to a different collection.
And any idea where he might be going?
We don't know as yet. He will definitely move on from this collection, but we're just not sure where he's headed just yet. But hopefully we'll find out soon.
Are they a vulnerable species?
They are at risk. So yeah, it's a shame. But hopefully with the breeding programmes that go on, it might bring their numbers up, even if it is just in captivity.
So really important that he does get moved on.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
He's quite cheeky.
He's very cheeky. He's very playful. He's very inquisitive. He's intelligent. He's definitely probably the most outgoing cub we've had here.
Will you miss him when he goes?
I will miss him. I miss him a lot, but I like the reason that he's going.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're an incredible species, and to have him continue a breeding programme would be amazing. But yeah, he will be missed a lot.
Oh, thanks, Kim. It was so lovely to catch up with Bubbles, and hopefully he'll go on to have some babies of his own soon.
Over in the carnivore enclosure, Will and Caleb have been getting a prey's eye view of the park's top predator using this nifty bit of kit. But it was almost wrecked by 2 tigers. Now Will is upping the ante and putting it in with an entire pride of lions.
This is going to be interesting, these lions.
We've got 9 lions in here. There's more meat, so hopefully they won't be as interested in Buggy Cam.
So now we're going to have a pride of lions come, and they potentially could be even more of a handful than tigers. So yeah, the camera's going to be very much outnumbered in this situation. The shots should hopefully make it worthwhile.
After Will's camera took a mauling from the tigers, the protective shell was left weakened.
We might be able to get some really amazing shots, but also a bit nerve-wracking because I don't know if the camera's going to survive this encounter.
Second section, you can let the lions go when you're ready.
Here they come.
Here they come.
9 hungry mouths, 1.5 tons of muscle, 162 razor-sharp claws charged towards the camera.
Here come the boys. Klaus and Simba are coming in.
The meat seems to be keeping the lions' attention.
Wow, look at that.
But suddenly the big boys arrive. Now there's more mouths than meat. The camera takes a hit. The highly trained keepers are able to draw the lions off. But Will still can't control it.
I almost got it again. They managed to flip it over, so it's now stranded very close to where the lions are feeding, which means I can't maneuver it to retrieve it.
Suddenly, head keeper Amy spots an opportune moment to right the camera.
Amy's got it. She's done it.
Make a dash for it.
Will has control once again.
Right, there we go. Just moved it under our car so that I can pull it under the car if the lions are getting too boisterous.
This new tactic keeps it safe while the pride continue to hunt.
I'm right under the car with lions circling. This is crazy. Like, these lions have no respect. This camera is being hunted. It feels like prey. These lions are having a whale of a time.
Yeah, they really are.
Got the buggy no more than a metre away, so if necessary, it can whiz under the car. Okay, here's another one coming to check it out. Yeah, look at her. Pretending like she's not interested in it.
It's a game of cat and mouse.
Exactly. My camera is the mouse.
Yeah. This is my favourite lioness approaching Buggy Cam now. And she's just so awesome. Oh, it's incredible. Wow. Pretty much since they were 6 months old, I've watched these guys grow up, and you know, I feel part of the pride sometimes, so I absolutely love these guys. And to see Will capturing these images is just dream come true, really, because I'm with the dream animals, with the, you know, my hero photographer. So, yeah, it doesn't get any better than this.
But Will's camera isn't out of the woods. Big beast Klaus is on the hunt again.
Humongous.
Most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Wow, that was a shot there.
It's incredible.
That was a shot. You could see what it was. I wasn't chopping his head off, was I?
No, it was perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's amazing. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
On the ground, looking up at him, they look even bigger. So
it's just amazing.
So what do you reckon? Shall we retrieve it?
Yeah, we can retrieve it. Oh, no.
There we go. We're in. The camera lives to fight another day.
But has he come up with the goods?
Quick check, everything has worked as it was meant to.
It's been his toughest assignment yet. Fingers crossed it's all been worth it.
Just reviewing the pictures and I can't believe.
Look at that. That's incredible. That is genuinely incredible.
Staring straight into the lens, that's awesome. That is absolutely amazing.
Beautiful cats.
So cool, isn't it?
We really started to get some nice shots, and so I'm very happy with what I've managed to get while here.
I wanted to get a praise eye view of the world. He truly delivered on what I asked him to.
Check out those.
Wow.
Look at that, stalking the camera.
That is awesome.
You would not want to be in that position.
Being in the presence of Will, who's such a good photographer, who sort of inspired me, you know, you can't beat experiences like that. And to show him the cats that I'm so proud of and to get him to take pictures of them, it's just amazing, really.
Look at that. Now, if that's not praise eye view, I don't know what is.
Incredible. I mean, it's just been the most spectacular day.
And we've got even more in store for Buggy Cam later in the series. How will it fare against Africa's armoured giants as it takes on a crash of rhino? It's nearly the end of the programme, but before we leave, Kate and I are here with beautiful Tylo, the Binturong, and Keeper Charlie. He's loving that apple.
Loving that. But much as we love Tylo, we do really want to find out what is going on with Arabella.
Yep.
She was pretty off colour, wasn't she? And you tracked it down to a problem with her teeth, is that right?
Yeah, so she went into the vets and we had a good look around, and it turned out there was a couple of extractions that we needed to do.
Yeah.
We took them out and it seems to have worked. She seems pretty happy.
And is she sort of eating well as well? Because that was the sort of first sign that there was something not quite right, wasn't it?
Yeah, she's scoffing pretty much all of her food now. She loves her food.
So now you know what was making Arabella a little bit grumpy or unhappy. Can they be reunited?
We probably won't now. They see each other through the bars overnight and during the day, but that she's still pretty grumpy towards him. So we'll probably leave them to it. And yeah, I doubt we'll put them back together now.
And he certainly hasn't got any trouble with your teeth, have you?
Yeah.
He is, Kate. I can't take my eyes off him. He's amazing looking.
He is a beautiful animal. Well, Charlie, thank you. Congratulations
Thank you
for
very
bringing
much.
Arabella back to full health. Sadly, that really is the end of the programme, but here's what's coming up on the next Animal Park.
Next time, the keepers step in to save Alfie the gorilla.
We're just having a little surgical explore. Can you just imagine how horrific it would be if we lost a gorilla?
Come on, wake up.
I'm feeling a little unnerved today because I'm standing in a lion enclosure.
Well, don't hide in the trees. The king of the jungle can climb.
And meet Wally, an orphaned penguin who always leaves an impression.